Hello, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. I don't really like to discuss child matters, but there's so much exposure out here that correlates to the curiosity of these children. Those traditional values may have been strict, but they were set in place to keep us in place and to keep us safe. And nowadays, there's so much grown-up activities being done by children that it's being normalized in a way that slowly people just starting to not see anything wrong with it. But there's a timeline, rules, and regulations for everything. And nowadays, I just see parents letting their children do what they want to do, be so free to not have any set rules or discipline. Parents, especially celebrities, tend to normalize rather than educate a timeline on which the children should experiment in any kind of way, as it relates personally, physically, and sexually. Because then you gotta ask yourself, do children really know what's best for them? If they did, they wouldn't need parents. And while a lot of these celebrity parents think they're doing a service to their children now, they're really doing a disservice to their future. Because what it would lead to is your children being harassed, bullied, judged, and ridiculed throughout their lifetime. This is why it's appropriate for children to make a sound decision when they reach a certain age of accountability. And right now, Dewayne and Gabrielle are accountable. Because children don't know what's best for them. They're driven by their imagination, and that's why you see them changing their mind a lot. And that's why social media is in the uproar right now, because of Zaya Wade kissing her boyfriend that used to be a girl, and he used to be a boy. Now, I want to say that any child at the age of 14 should not be experimenting in those sexual activities, let alone taking pictures and putting it out there. So this ain't singling nobody out, and this ain't about no transphobia stuff. But at the same time, we are witnessing the confusion when it comes to heterosexual relationships and female and male parts when it comes to Zaya being a girl and him being a boy, but then him used to being a boy and the girl used to being the boy used to being a girl. So that's why I say that kids at a certain age don't know whether they're making the right decisions or not at the age of accountability to know to make certain big decisions like that in their life when they're talking about being a transgender at an early age. And this is where the parents need to step in and educate them on that stuff, not just letting them be so full and fluent with it, but giving them the vision, knowledge, and options on what that may mean for them. Now, you see how Jada's son at the time, a couple of years ago, he wanted to go ahead and buy his own house and live on his own and make his own decisions and pay his own bills, and you see how that worked out. So it's just that we have to go ahead and put ourselves in a position where we need to be as parents to step in and say no. No. It's okay to say no. And that's not gonna be damaging in any way, but in a way help the children to know that in this real world that we live in, it's not always going to be yes. And it's not always going to be okay. And that we can't do what we want to do, and that there is some type of rule and regulation. And this is just outside of the sexual orientation and everything that's going on. We got to stop letting these kids do what they want to do when they want to do it. And stop putting them in the parent position and treat them as they are, which is children. Because right now they making the rules. Now Zaya is 14 right now, but I think at the age of 12 was when he told his parents that he wanted to be a trans girl. Now I don't know how this thing worked, but I would believe that this boy did not even have any sexual experience to know what he wanted, even though people have certain energies or certain desires that lead them to thinking that they know what they want. It's still up to the parents to let these children know that the timing is important and that the decision that their child is trying to make is one that is very serious. And then also, and try to focus more on their education, their schooling. We even tell teenage girls, to wrap it up and teach them the importance of STDs and about getting pregnant too early and the things that they'll have to miss out on in life, and just getting through school and trying to get their career and their money straight. Having important talks about life before you can even get an education or a career. And this is for any child that is of 14 years of age. It's too young to be in a relationship. Focus on the important things that's going to set you up for life, to make your life easier. And it's opening up more opportunities for responsibility and stress in your life, because you're focusing on something too early that you don't need to be focusing on. And people who got it all like that, they kind of miss out on that. They kind of miss out on instilling that into their children's life, because they have everything. They either didn't have the struggle or tend to have forgotten the struggle, and they don't think that there will be a struggle. And even if it's not financially, it can be in other ways. Suicide and even depression is real, so you have to understand that letting your kids do what you want to do can potentially backfire on you, because it may not be the best outcome for their future, like I said before. Just imagine all the backlash they will receive in the future for all of this. Then the kids look back and say, why didn't you save me? Why did you let me do this? And a lot of times we want to be our children's best friend. We want to let them do what they want to do. We don't want to say no. But that's what parenting is all about, being the authoritative figure. Even if the child is trans, gay, confused, or whatever, it's okay to be that way, but it doesn't have to turn into a show. There still can be rules and regulations provided when you're just merely having a conversation with your child, or you're just letting them parade around the world unsure of their actions because they're too young to know what they're doing. It's pretty sad that they tend to want to share a lot of their child's business for everybody to see in the public. Like I said, this should be a private matter. This should be something that is kept in the household. Being free-spirited is good, but you can be a little bit too free-spirited, and that's what I think is wrong with these two. When one person has an idea and the other one goes with it, then there is no leadership in the household, and there has to be someone that says, no, this is the way it's gonna go. Because where does the boundary stop when you're exploiting the child like that? Where does the boundary stop? A lot of people may want to say that this is a trans issue or a gay issue, but it's not that at all. Even with a straight kid, you want to have some boundaries for your child, period. You want to keep your child safe. You want to create a safe space for them where they can express themselves to you, and only you, and not the world, because they didn't ask for this. And I may be wrong when I say this, but I think that they're trying to gain a bit of attention off of the child. And if that's happening, then that's a bit selfish. I just want to throw out a scenario, like I said, this guy that he's dating used to be a woman, and he still has his woman parts, and he is a woman right now. And so but he still has his man parts. So say they just get together and she gets him pregnant. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but say they get pregnant some type of way. Say he even likes being with a woman, because he hasn't had any sexual experiences. So now they got a baby. What if he starts liking women? What if this was experimental? What if this was just a phase? What if this is something you just want to be different? I'm just throwing something out there. He couldn't know what he is, but he is with somebody that still has lady parts. So now you done transition back to a man. But now you got all this stuff thrown out there. You wearing dresses, you wearing this, you that. It's gonna put a big toll on him, because like I said, as children, children don't know what they want. And the parents, it's their job to step in and let them know that they don't know what they want. And timing, patience, and trying to pursue getting the idea and the education about what you're trying to do and what certain stuff needs to come into play before you make a decision. And that decision should be when you're at the age of accountability, meaning when you're grown. Because then you can say what you really want and not have a trail of stuff following behind you because you made that decision too early. You don't want to regret anything. So I just think this is a mess. You guys comment below and let me know what you think about this. I'm out.